Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison, and we're just days away as Arizona gets ready to take on Oklahoma State in Tucson, a high noon kickoff on TNT. There should be no excuses for not getting out to the stadium. It's going to be an amazing day out in Tucson. Arizona is coming off of an underwhelming performance against Iowa State, where the Wildcats dropped the game 39-14, and really they just fell behind the eight ball from the get-go. 8-0 Iowa State after a 2-point conversion. It exploded into a 22-point lead. Arizona gets a touchdown right before half, and you're thinking maybe they get a little bit of momentum. Maybe they can stop Iowa State on the opening drive and get the ball back and make this thing a ball game. Not so fast, my friend. Iowa State goes down the field and scores, makes it 29-7. And at that point, the game was pretty much over. Arizona tried to battle back, but too little too late. Noah Fifita had an iffy performance. Again, threw for season high. Well, not season high, second season high. So right behind the Weber State game, 67% completion percentage. Tossed for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. And really, they were poor interceptions, poor reads by Noah Fifita. The offensive line played solid. The running game really didn't get a chance to get going, given the deficit that Arizona faced. Arizona's defense struggled in the game, allowing Iowa State's Rocco Beck to complete 70% of his passes, going 14 of 20 for 243 yards. And 6 explosive plays that totaled 182 yards for the Cyclones. No touchdown passes allowed, though. They haven't allowed a touchdown pass all season long. He got it done on the ground, though, back with 3 rushing touchdowns where he finished with negative yardage. But if you're lined up on the 1-yard line, on the inch line, and you just do a quick tush-push, you're going to score, and he was able to do that. So Arizona had to recollect. It wasn't pretty. Third down defense was a problem. Iowa State went 6 of 12 on third downs and 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions. And then Arizona, their third down offense was a horrific nightmare, going 4 for 13. They did convert 1 fourth down, going 1 for 3 there, but their conversion rate this season has just been an absolute nightmare. I know we're in Halloween season, but man, it's got to be keeping Seth Day up in his dreams right now, because they got to figure that out. They got to figure that out. They got to get better there. In terms of the defense overall, though, I thought they did a decent job of getting after Rocco back. They slowed down the running game. Iowa State at one point was averaging 1.9 yards per run. That's not a lot, but rushing touchdowns killed them in short yardage situations. But the big problem was the explosive plays. 6 explosive plays. A couple of them, I would say 2 of them, Rocco Beck just being Rocco Beck, tremendous passes over the middle of the field, on the right side of the field and the left side of the field, just tremendous passes. The rest of them could have been preventable. I thought Arizona's defense was a little soft there, especially the slant route that went for 50-plus yards. You got to shore up. You got to make that tackle. You got to make that play. That should have been a 5-yard pickup, not a 50-something yard pickup. Just really poor defense in that situation and poor execution. Now, they were a little shorthanded. Javion Cole did not play in the game, although he was not listed as doubtful or questionable for the game. He was available to go. He just did not get a chance to get out there as he continues to try to get better and get back on the field. I do expect him to play against Oklahoma State, but that hurt him. Marquise Gross-Killebrew was not very good against Iowa State, and right now he's probably their 4th best corner out there on the football field. You have Cole, you have Michael Dansby, who I think has been the best corner on the team, and you have Aiden Garnes, who I think has been tremendous as well. Marquise Gross-Killebrew is that 4th corner right now. He had to play a lot of snaps, and he got burned game in and game out. So the depth chart got released. We saw a couple things get switched up on the depth chart. One thing that wasn't surprising, but it finally happened, and a couple things that, maybe we thought there would be movement, and there wasn't. So that's a surprise there. Let's get with the thing that got switched up first, and that's the punting game. Arizona's special teams unit has been one of the worst in the country. They ranked 134 out of 136 in power football programs. That's terrible. That's terrible. It's one of the worst in the country, according to ESPN's football index. And you know what? It's the field goal kicking. They've missed several kicks this year. They've muffed a punt. They've had a punt block because you couldn't handle the snap, and just some poor punting. Now, Malco Salgado Medina and some poor fair catch decisions in the punting and kick return game. Malco Salgado Medina, though, has been doing double the workload. And I think it's gotten to him a little bit. I think you need to simplify things for him and just have him focus on field goal kicking because he has the strongest leg on the team. Ian Wagner has a very strong leg, but we haven't seen him take place kicks. So you bring in Isaac Loveson, Australian punter. He had a very good game against Iowa State. That was the one bright spot for Arizona. He had 4 or 5 punts, and he averaged 44.5 yards per punt. That's very good, and a lot of those were backed up. I thought he did a terrific job. He had one where he kind of shanked it, and it was a 30-something yarder, but he made up for it with a 50-yarder later down the stretch. So that finally got moved. Isaac Loveson is the starting punter for Arizona. We saw it last game, not a surprise. And then Kedrick Ricino, he's been out with a leg injury, an unknown injury, unknown in terms of where it is on the leg. And he didn't play last game, even though he was, quote-unquote, available in the availability report. He was geared up. He was suited up. He just didn't make it out on the football field. He is still listed as RB number 1. I get it. He's the veteran. He's the guy that's been there the longest. I get it. Maybe it's an Alonzo Carter decision. I'm not sure how they make up the depth chart and how they decide to go about that. I'm sure Brendan finalizes it, but in terms of the position groups. But Ishmael Mahdi has been one of the better backs in the country. He deserves to be first in that depth chart, and it's just a matter of Kedrick being injured. And I know Brendan talks about he doesn't like to see players lose their spot due to injury, but Mahdi's been great. Mahdi's healthy. He's been running the ball hard. Quincy Craig's been serviceable, very good. And I think Kedrick could be that elite number 2 back. So that was a little bit of a surprise to me. I think you should see a switch, Ishmael being the number 1 name on the depth chart. Now, again, it's or. They're all quote-unquote starters. But, man, Ishmael Mahdi, he's earned his way on this roster. He's been phenomenal for the Wildcats. He had a great game against Iowa State. They just couldn't give him the ball because of the situation. And then lastly, we just talked about it, the cornerback situation. Javion Cole, when he's not out on the field, Arizona's defense suffers. He's been very good. He was great with Brett Brennan at San Jose State, with Michael Dansby there too. He didn't play a lot in Texas. He comes to Arizona. He's expecting to start. I know, Marquise Groves-Killebrew, but he's been very inconsistent. How is he third on the depth chart? He's not listed as order. He's third. I just don't get it. I think that needs to switch. I think he's earned his way to the football field. Now, maybe there's some fundamental things and some technicality things that we don't know that he doesn't excel at. Maybe he's not a great tackler. The coaches obviously know. But from what you've seen on the field, there's no reason why Javion Cole isn't listed as one of the starters or at least co-starters on that depth chart. Now, Arizona will be wearing their Sandstorm uniforms this weekend. The Cactus logo back on the helmet, the red helmet, kind of like a sandy outfit. It's going to be a great outfit, a great uniform, great jersey to see. That's going to be exciting to watch. Gronk is going to be the honorary captain for Hispanic Heritage, the Hispanic Heritage game. Lo Soy Fiesta. Could they have gone a different route? Yes, but Gronk is always entertainment. Gronk is one of the best alumni Arizona has. Loves the U of A. It's going to be an exciting time, and he's going to be a host for the slam dunk contest during the red and blue game. So we'll have more coverage of Arizona football and the red and blue game as the week moves along. Check us out on Arizona Wildcats on SI, or myself, Troy Hutchison at THutch1995, and we'll see you next time.